Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Brian Craig. We're live on the radio here in South Florida on AM and FM stations. And we talk about all the news and issues of the day, including the one that's the thumbnail of this show. And we take calls live on the air. Hold on, gonna hit a commercial here. Live on the air from our radio listeners, and you guys on YouTube can call in as well.
South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Yes. Numbers behind me, it's in the description. And make sure you're subscribed. Click the notification bell. And everybody in here already, go and like the video. That helps me a lot. Get the word out to like-minded people. Like the video and share this video right now on all your social media. Twitter, Facebook, Parler, Gab, Telegram, whatever you're using. Oh, that's my MyPillow. I brought my MyPillow in. Thought I'd show you guys. That's the one I sleep on. I spilled coffee on it when I was walking up here, but that's okay. It's machine washable. That happens. Oh, man, what an exciting weekend of news, huh? Welcome, everyone. This is our top of the hour break.
Character, integrity, these are the most important things with sponsors, and all of your sponsors.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. The video before this, my wife did a video on my channel last night on her own without me around, which she's never done before. Although it was pretty good. Here we go.
FLA 3782.
That's right.
1-855 toll free FLA 3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's...
Yes. Welcome, everyone, to the program. It's Monday morning, March 29th, 2021. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Amanda, we got a lot to talk about on the radio today. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Don't forget, everyone, go and watch us on YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. Subscribe over there, and if you ever miss a show or a part of a show, you can catch it on our YouTube channel. And also, I upload my podcast and do all kinds of videos and live streams all the time, and watch parties and a whole bunch of stuff on my YouTube channel. So go there, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. That's right. Brian Craig on the YouTube. All right, so President Trump border, and this is a miraculous thing. Now, he was on over the weekend with Judge Jeanine. Let me pull this up because this is this little clip of the president. Isn't it nice just to wake up and hear the voice of President Trump? That's right, the 45th president of the United States. I love hearing President Trump's voice. Any opportunity to hear. Here we go.
President, when do you think that you would go? When do you think you would go to the border?
Over the next couple of weeks, the Border Patrol wants me to go, probably over the next couple of weeks. I don't think there's a rush for me to go. He's supposed to go and make the decision. A very, very bad decision was stay in Mexico, where he ended that. And
yeah. Okay. Now this is just something I want to talk about. Now, I am not one to disagree with President Trump ever. In fact, I will never criticize President Trump. I will never disagree with President Trump. He always is playing a long game, and I think there was a little misdirection there. He says in the next couple of weeks. I think what's going to happen is we're going to turn on the news, or we're going to get all of our phones. We're going to get notifications on our phones. If you have notifications turned on, I have my notifications turned off, but my wife has hers on, so I'll hear my wife's notification, and I'll grab my phone. We're just going to get a notification and find out that President Trump is there at the border live, or that he had already been there and he's left, and we get video. See, this is amazing. You know, the incredible trip that Ted Cruz took over the weekend when he was out along the banks of the river with the senators. That was spectacular. I'm going to play the audio of him in a little bit in the detention center with the kids that Biden's holding in these terrible conditions there. Now that Biden has put Kamala in charge of the southern border problem, Trump's got to get there. Got to get there quick. He's got to get there quick. He can't do the same thing Ted Cruz did, and he's not going to do the same thing Ted Cruz did. See, President Trump, he needs to get there before Kamala. Okay, Kamala, she's very upset about something, which we'll get to in a little bit, but she shouldn't be worried about what she's complaining about right now. She needs to worry about the border issue, but she's got something else to worry about, and she's got herself worked up about. I'll get to that in a little bit, but President Trump needs to get there before Kamala gets there, or Biden. Because Ted Cruz over the weekend really embarrassed the administration. He went down there, led a team of senators down there. You've seen the video, cruising down the river in the boat, walking on the banks of the river, seeing the coyotes with the flashlights and everything else that went on with that. He really did embarrass the administration. Now the question is, are they capable of being embarrassed? Right? I don't know. Are they capable of being embarrassed? That may not be possible to do to the Biden administration. But if I were Kamala, America would be waking up this morning with me at the border, taking care of business. But again, I'm competent. I like to get things done. Trump needs to get down there. He needs to get down there quick. He needs to get down there before Kamala. And I think this was some misdirection. See, President Trump, since he's no longer the sitting president, has a much smaller group of people around him. If you go and watch my videos when I've been up there and saw President Trump up at Mar-a-Lago, I saw him the day he voted. I went up there and saw the president the last few minutes he was president before the inauguration. And the amount of people with the sitting president is insane, how many people are around the sitting president. It's unbelievable. Now he's got a much smaller group of people. And President Trump has things that other former presidents don't have. He's got his own planes, plural, right? He's got Trump Force One, the big Trump Force One, and he's also got a smaller private plane jet that my understanding is the fastest private jet an individual can own. Corey Lewandowski wrote about it in his book, Let Trump Be Trump. That's how he was able to do so many rallies in a day in 2016. His plane was so fast. And he's got a helicopter. So Trump could get up right now, up at Mar-a-Lago. Well, I'm sure he's already up. President Trump's an early riser. President Trump could wake up this morning, could have woken up like he does. He wakes up like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and say, we're going to the border. I'm going to the airport, and just go like that, and no one would know. No one would know until he was there. And that would be amazing. That would be amazing. The only thing I would ask President Trump to do is do it after we get off the air. I don't want it to happen when we're on the air. Well, I guess we could cut to it. To some kind of live coverage. But we're not really set up for that. It'd catch us off guard. I could do it, but it'd be rough and difficult. But he needs to get down there. And I think he is planning on getting down there quick. I really do. And this thing telling Judge Jeanine a couple of weeks is misdirection to the Biden-Kamala. It's the Biden-Harris administration. It's not the Biden administration. It's the Biden-Harris administration. So that'll be awesome. And, the only thing he needs to be careful of, because everyone's talking about President Trump going down to the border. Do not meet with the president of Mexico, President Trump. I know a lot of people are talking about President Trump meeting with the president of Mexico. If he goes down, he went down there when he was running in 2016, remember? He went down in his own plane, in his own helicopter, and he met with it was the president of Mexico then, not the current president, the one before that. And they were not happy about that. But if President Trump meets with, we want him to go to the southern border. We want him to patrol it. We want him to see firsthand what's going on. Dan Shivo, I forgot how do you say Dan Shivo? Is it Shivo? You know what I'm talking about. He can record everything on his phone for the president, as he always does. Ted Cruz records himself, but President Trump, he's got people to do that. Do not meet with the president of Mexico, President Trump, because if you do, they're going to be talking about the Logan Act, okay? They'll be all excited, ooh, Logan Act. They'll try to Logan Act him, and who knows, they may impeach him again, right, even though he's not president. So don't meet with the president. Just go down to our side of the border and show what's going on. I saw some video on Breitbart over the weekend. Breitbart had some video where they encountered 4 young children, like 12 years old, walking north, and one girl spoke. Her English was better than mine, and she said she came from Belize. Did any of you see this video? Now there were 4 kids. The oldest was 17. The other ones were like 11 or 12, and the girl who spoke perfect English was about 12. And they met on this trail to America, and they were just about to surrender themselves to American authorities. She said her father was in Texas, her mother was in Belize, and she traveled from Belize. And I noticed something about these kids. Did any of you see this video? They weren't dirty. They were not dirty. They were clean. And what I mean by that is, if you're walking a dusty trail from Belize all through Mexico, my goodness, I get dirtier than that, walking the dog through the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of missing pieces about this migration of children. If they're walking that far, they weren't even tired. They didn't look hungry. They weren't one of my biggest problems is I drink too much caffeine and not enough water. I've been dehydrated probably my entire life. They didn't look dehydrated. They didn't look hungry. They looked like they had just bathed. Their clothes were not even dirty. So I don't know how they're getting there. I'd like President Trump to get to the bottom of this. There's something going on here. But I'm itching for him to get there. And since everyone's talking about it over the weekend, he probably should not wait. He needs to get there yesterday. What do you guys think about that? He needs to get there yesterday. No question about it. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Now, I'm not in the studio alone today. No, I'm not. I brought someone with me that I sleep with each and every day, and that is my pillow. If you're watching on YouTube, right here on the counter behind me, I have my pillow, the one I woke up on today. I did take it out of the pillowcase, and I brought in my pillow. And this my pillow that I have, this is, you can get these. You can get the My Pillow at mypillow.com in different fills, firm, medium. So I got the lightest fill in this one, which is really awesome. My wife has the one that's the full fill. You can customize it to yourself. The My Pillows are at their lowest price ever right now with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at mypillow.com, just $29.98. That My Pillow that I have with me today is 2.5 years old. My wife paid $85 for that pillow. Same My Pillow that you get for $29.98 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We didn't have the discount code, and they have lowered the price so much at My Pillow on all their items when you use the promo code KANE. Yeah, that's right. My wife paid full price for that when she got it for me for Christmas over 2 years ago. And I brought it in today. I took it out of the pillowcase. I brought it in, and I spilled some coffee on it. Just a little bit of coffee when I was coming up in the elevator because I had my hands full, but that's okay. You know why it's okay that I spill coffee on my Pillow? It's machine washable. So when I get home today, I'm going to put it in the wash. I wash it every week, but I'm going to put it in the wash and wash it and then dry it. Boom, it'll be like brand new, like the coffee wasn't even on it. It's spectacular. And, Mike Lindell, his social media platform, will be up and running and available for us to join soon. This is a huge financial project on his part, costing I don't know how many tens of millions of dollars. And of course, he's being sued by everyone over his support of President Trump. Every time you buy something at MyPillow, it's like you're both helping the Mike Lindell Legal Fund and also helping him with this incredible social media platform. Now, Mother's Day is also coming up right around the corner. There is something for every mom on your gift-giving list for Mother's Day at MyPillow.com. In fact, the MyPillow, which is just $29.98 when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, is a great gift. I got one for my mom a couple years ago. She came over to the house. She was staying the night. And she said, can I sleep on one of those MyPillows you're always talking about? And sure, we gave her one of our MyPillows. She wanted to see if they were really all that. And she woke up in the morning and she said, sure enough, those MyPillows are amazing. That's right, because you don't toss, you don't turn. You'll have the most comfortable night's sleep you have ever had. We got her one for Mother's Day. And out of all the Mother's Days of my entire life, I promise you, that is the only gift she remembers receiving from me, and it's the only one I remember giving her, and it is the only Mother's Day gift that she used after Mother's Day. There's a lot of other great items there, too, that will be perfect for Mom on Mother's Day. The MyPillow My Slippers, 40% off with the promo code Kane. They come in multiple styles for both men and women in multiple colors. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your entire mattress into a MyPillow. Mom would love that. And you can also order by phone, by the way. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's right. If you don't believe me, go to my YouTube channel right now. I've got my MyPillow right behind me. You guys watching, you see it, don't you? All right, listen, we'll finish up the break, come back, and jump right back into the issues. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had lab tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, you never need an appointment, no doctor's order, or prescription needed either. You can walk right in and have any of their thousands of lab tests done for just a fraction of the price the big labs or your doctor's office charge. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home.
Welcome. Hey everybody, make sure you like the video. Give me that like. Share the video. Subscribe. Click the notification bell. Do all of that. Let's let as many MAGA people out there know about this show.
Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. So Biden was asked about President Trump going to the border. Uh-oh, listen to this. This is Biden. He's asked about Trump going to the border.
Former President Trump said he's been asked by some Border Patrol agents to go to the border. Do you think that would be productive, and when, any timetable on when you might go?
We are putting in place a plan that I feel very confident about, and I don't care what the other guy does.
I don't care what the other guy does. He can't even say Trump's name. It puts the lotion in the basket right out of Silence of the Lambs. They're trying to dehumanize President Trump. I don't care what the other guy does. I don't care what the other guy does. Oh, this is spectacular. By the way, do you guys believe that? I do. I think Biden, you know, these people that are suffering from the Trump derangement syndrome, they really think Trump's out of the loop, that he's lost support and all this stuff. He is about to humiliate. You know what he's doing, don't you? You know what he's doing. This is his presidential campaign for 2024. Do you not understand this? I've been wondering, when will be the official launch of his campaign? Will it be after the midterms and he has huge victories with the people he backs? I thought maybe that would be it. Would it be the launch of his social media network? Yeah. I think it really could be this, the border. Like when he ran in 2016 against Hillary, this is the defining issue. This is the issue facing this country today. Are we a country or not? Remember what Trump always said, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. And of course, Jen Psaki, they're saying the border's closed because now closed means open. Okay, it's closed, they tell us. No, it's wide open. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
I'm going to throw something at you that, here we go again, okay? You're the one that said there's only one president at a time in this country, and there is. Unfortunately, President Trump has no power. It's a photo op.
I know, yes.
You and I know this is a crisis, but this is not a crisis to Biden, and it's not a crisis to Harris, and it's not a crisis to Democrats. It's a plan. This is their plan. It's not a crisis to them. He's already saying that he's going to start it up. He's already opened up military posts. He's put them up in hotels. He's going to put this man, if he has to build a new stadium in the middle of that house. What? Yeah. He'll do it. Plan to get these people.
Yeah. Well, here you say President Trump has no power. That's not true. President Trump has tens of millions of people who hang on his every word. Okay, tens of millions of people who love and support him, and he also, more than anything else, and that's power, he's an influencer. And also, he knows how to manipulate the media. And right now, the media, they may hate Trump still, but they're starved. They're starved for stories. They're starved for viewers. They're starved for ratings. And President Trump is ratings gold for the news media. So he knows how to manipulate the media. So he is timing his trip to the border to have a huge media extravaganza all about him and what goes on down there. And that's a lot of power.
I agree with you, but it's not going to change the policy.
No, it's not going to change the policy. These people aren't going to change anything, okay? But what will happen is it'll change what happens in the midterms. It'll change what happens in 2024. So he's got lots of power. Oh, by the way, I got to tell you guys this. Have you seen Ron DeSantis on... I'm sorry, Richie, we're not going to depress the audience at 25 after 6. Oh, my goodness. Richie wakes up like sad and depressed, so he wants to depress all of you. Get the razor blades out. Richie, the bus driver's on the phone. Oh, yeah, Conservative Doug, he's next to finish the job. No. I went to... This was interesting. You may have seen Ron DeSantis got a lot of press this weekend. He's putting pressure on the Centers for Disease Control to open up cruising. And he was up at Port Canaveral, which is where the Space Center is. And that's a big cruise port, too. Not as big as Fort Lauderdale and Miami, but it's a big one. And Ron DeSantis said that the only industry in Florida that is not open for business is the cruise industry. Isn't that something? The only industry in Florida that is not open is the cruise industry. And he's putting... they have a scheduled date to open up, but he's trying to get the CDC to lift it sooner. And they had the guy that runs Port Canaveral on. He said Port Canaveral, up by the Space Center, the Space Coast we call it, is not the biggest cruise port, but it's still a cruise port. They said 80% of the revenue in Port Canaveral comes from the cruise industry. Can you imagine what it's like in Fort Lauderdale or Miami? Oh my goodness, it's billions of dollars have been lost. And it's more people than just the cruise ship workers. There's a whole industry around it, from Uber and Lyft drivers to all kinds of people. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands, travel agents, hundreds of thousands make every industry is open except that. And on Saturday, I made a vlog on this that I'll put online. It's not online yet, but it'll be online this week. You guys can see. I went to the boat show in Palm Beach on Saturday. And I've never been to a boat show before. Never been to a boat show, and it was really cool. I got to take tours of these Yachts, $15 million yacht. I got a personal tour of these multi-million dollar yachts. I've never been on yachts like this, never been in them before. And I know they were pretty amazing. But the Palm Beach International Boat Show, it was down the street from Mar-a-Lago, actually, in downtown West Palm Beach. And a couple things about it which I found absolutely amazing. It was jam-packed with people. And the crowd, different ages in the crowd, but because, boats and yachts, I mean, these are expensive things. It was an older crowd. I'm talking about a lot of senior citizens there, a lot of old rich guys. The wives weren't that young, though, for a lot of these guys. But a lot of older people there. And you'll see this when I put my video online this week from that trip, but I'll tell you about it now. I would say 85 to 90% of the people at the boat show in Palm Beach were not wearing masks. Not wearing masks. And I'm talking about even older people. Which it was. I first walked in there and I was very surprised. Firefighters, cops not wearing masks. Okay, because But then I saw how many older people were not wearing masks, and the reason that is because they've been vaccinated. So, because Ron DeSantis here in Florida, the governor of Florida, Governor DeSantis, who's the greatest governor in America, Ron DeSantis, the way that he governed Florida through all of this, should be a book that is required reading for everyone in government. It's absolutely amazing. And he started from the old, he's working backwards. Now, starting today in Florida, it's 40 and above throughout the state to get the vaccine. I know in different counties it's different, but statewide, 40 and above now can get the vaccine. They lowered it. Last week it was lowered to 50, now 40. And by the way, Steve Kane got his first injection yesterday of the vaccine, and I'm going to try to get one today. I don't have an appointment. You got to make appointments, but there are some places where you don't need appointments, and I'm going to rush out of here after the show and try to get to the place where you don't need appointments and try to get my first injection today. But if not, I'll get an appointment and I'll do it down the road, but I'm going to try to get it today. But I saw all these people without masks, and they were not even enforcing it, and because they were vaccinated. And Florida is back. Florida is open, except for the cruise industry. It's set to open later in the year, and Governor DeSantis is putting tremendous pressure on it. All the hotels are open now. Okay, all the hotels are open. That's what a cruise ship is, right? It's a floating, moving hotel. So, the cruises will be open soon. Ron DeSantis is doing a great job, and he is the model. But I'll tell you what I was thinking over the weekend when I saw Ron DeSantis at the southern border. The first video, not the new one, but the first video when he was out in the weeds on the riverbank with the senators. Ted Cruz looks like he's Donald Trump's running mate in 2024, doesn't it, to you? There's some, unfortunately, there seems to be a conflict over having the candidates from the same state. Many believe that they cannot receive the electoral college votes from that state if the president and vice president are from the same state. So, and I haven't heard a definitive ruling on that, and this could be a lot of left-wing propaganda because Ron DeSantis is doing so well right now. But to me, it looks like if I were to make a guess right now who President Trump's running mate would be in 2024, it's Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz made me pretty proud over the weekend. What about you guys? And I love Ron DeSantis, but I don't think Ron DeSantis, on top of this problem about Trump and DeSantis being from the same state, which there are ways around that, but I don't know. It seems to me that DeSantis is not a number 2 on the ticket, right? That he's a number 1 on the ticket. So 2028 will be his year, right? He's running for governor now. He's brought in some big shot guy. He doesn't need the help, but he brought in a big campaign manager. I heard over the weekend Ron DeSantis to manage his re-election campaign because he's up in the midterms. He's 2 years in, a little more than 2 years in. He's done a great job. Florida loves him. He's going to be re-elected, and he'll be we have a 2-term limit for governors in Florida. So when the presidential election season for 2028 begins, his second term will have been completed. So it'll either be the Senate or the presidency then for him, and I would imagine it would be the presidency. But Ted Cruz looks to me right now, if I were to guess, would be the running mate. I mean, you got Texas, which is important for us. You got the border issue, which is going to be the defining issue in the next election, not just the midterm, but the 2024 presidential election. And Ted Cruz really did a great, great job over the weekend. He certainly did. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. It is 32 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. I am Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
You suffer with diabetes. Did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority.
Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. If you're just tuning in today, if you're new to the program, you'll love this show. I promise you. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell, and everybody in the chat right now, if you could like the video, and then share it, that would be great. Very important.
Shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van.
Did any of you guys see this terrible thing with that Uber Eats driver? Oh my goodness.
That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by
Coming back.
Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
No, she does not.
Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call free 1-800-FLA
Isn't Bowser
3782.
the guy from Sha-Na-Na?
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
Remember Sha-Na-Na?
Just search for WWE.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Did you guys see that video of the attempt? Well, I guess it was a carjacking, the carjacking and murder of the Uber Eats driver. Oh my goodness! You know, I don't use Uber Eats. We do use DoorDash. Any of you guys use DoorDash? Yeah, we got a membership to DoorDash, so it's like it doesn't really cost you much. We use DoorDash. And these people work hard, man. I mean, these are hard-working people. And, you know, Uber Eats and DoorDash, a lot of these people, these are some of the hardest-working people. I know a guy, I know more than one guy, but I know one guy here in South Florida. He drives with Lyft. He takes passengers with Uber, and he does Uber Eats. When things are slow, he'll do Uber Eats. And he told me he likes Uber Eats because it's more localized, and he doesn't have to have people in his car, right? You know, and I mean, these people work hard, man. They work hard. And this mayor up in D.C., they're talking about D.C. statehood. This Mayor Bowser, I was just saying in the chat room, wasn't Bowser the name of the guy from Sha-Na-Na? D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser shamed this is in the Gateway Pundit, shamed the Uber Eats driver who was murdered by 2 teenage girls for not taking the proper precautions to prevent auto theft. 2 young teenage girls were charged with felony murder. Felony murder is like you kill somebody but you didn't intend to kill. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it legally. I'm not a lawyer, but you guys know what felony murder is. 2 young teenage girls were charged with felony murder after killing a man in D.C. in broad daylight during an armed carjacking. Instead of fleeing the scene after the car crashed and rolled on its side, one of the girls began looking for the cell phone that was in the vehicle while walking nonchalantly past the victim. The girls were ages 13 and 15 years old. They're African American. The victim they murdered is a Pakistani immigrant, Mohammed Anwar, age 66, of Virginia. He was driving for Uber Eats when the girls attempted to steal his car and tased him. And the mayor of D.C., this left-wing lunatic mayor, tweeted, she since deleted this, but she tweeted, "Auto theft is a crime of opportunity. Follow these steps to reduce the risk of your vehicle becoming a target. Remember the motto, protect your auto." Yeah. She was kind of in a way blaming the victim. Right? Kind of blaming the victim. And I watched the whole video this morning. It's disturbing. I watched the whole video. Somebody got it on their cell phone, and they got the guys in the car. The girls are in the car. It speeds off during this carjacking. He's been tased. It hauls, you know what, down the street, and then you hear this huge crash. It is awful. And then, of course, there's video of the driver lying. It's awful. It's cold-blooded murder. These girls are really sick. They're sick. I know all these people coming across the border are fleeing crime. What about this guy in D.C.? How does a girl 13 and 15 years old become such hardcore... How do they become such hardcore violent criminals like that? Where are their parents? Who raised them? I don't know. To me, it's some of the most disturbing video I've seen. In fact, I would put it up there, and this is saying I would put it up there with that terrible footage of the death of George Floyd and others. It's tough to watch. I watched it this morning. I didn't want to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it, and I said, well, I better watch it so I can talk about it. I'm not even playing the audio on the air. I was going to play the audio on the air, but it's horrific. It's horrific. You can hear the tires screech. It's awful. I'm not going to play it on the air. You can watch it online if you want to see it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And for the mayor, she doesn't even have a negative word about these 2 girls and their parents that raised them, or whoever raised them. I don't know who raised these girls. This could not be their first crime. This was too hardcore of a crime for it to be their first act of criminal activity. I'd like to get some information on their background. How does a 13 and a 15-year-old girl get so violent and do something so crazed? All right, let's go to the phones. If you're on hold, we'll go right to the phones now. There's an opening at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, it's Mike from Boca.
Hey, Mike.
That gentleman, Muhammad, 66 years old, Uber Eats. He's trying to help. He's trying everything he can do for his family. I mean, this guy, how many 66-year-old guys do you personally know, or even that do Uber Eats?
Actually, I know one. One of them I know. One of the guys the guy I was talking about does Lyft, Uber, and Uber Eats. And these guys, they don't make a lot of profit. They don't get paid much. And they got the wear and tear on their vehicle and the gasoline. They make very little money, a lot of these guys, and it's tough work.
I watched that 3 times because the first time I saw it, I was shocked. And you could see the guy, he's cleaning, and he's got a nice car, and he's driving a nice car, and he's doing Uber Eats in his personal car. And it's in Washington, D.C., and it's a ghost town. You can see it. Thank God that the National Guard was there. We talk about the car.
Well, it's interesting you talk about, a guy that, hold on a second, a guy that drives for Uber, a guy that's doing Uber Eats is probably also doing Uber, regular Uber. And he's probably not getting a lot of Uber business because D.C. is shut down. There are no tourists in D.C. They have the fences up everywhere. It's a ghost town on the streets of D.C., and he was probably doing the lower paying Uber Eats because Biden and Pelosi have the city under lockdown.
Yeah. So, there's a reason. Besides God, it sounds odd to some people, but God intervened because when they did that crash, those girls probably would have got away. They would have got caught eventually. But if you notice, as soon as they made that turn, the guard was there. The National Guard. And the guy ran so fast that he actually told him, don't let him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
First thing you hear that.
Well, how does a 13 and 15-year-old girl? How does a 13 and 15-year-old girl get? How do they become so violent? And this is a hardcore crime.
That's what really shook me. Especially when the Gateway Pundit updated his picture.
Oh yeah, and this wasn't just this wasn't auto theft. This was carjacking is many levels beyond auto theft.
Yeah. He had one of those cases you could buy,
Yeah, a violent carjacking is. I mean, that's a hardcore, criminally insane person. I mean, if you're doing a carjacking, that's not breaking in and stealing a cell phone. That's all bad. Stealing cars, of course, are bad. But you try to hijack a vehicle with the owner behind the wheel with a taser. You're as violent can get, and a 13 and 15-year-old girl on top of it. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of background, any background about these girls. Have you?
No, CNN says it was a car accident.
Yeah, they called it a car accident. CNN described it as a carjacking followed by a car accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever wrote that should be immediately terminated.
A car accident.
Really, really gross.
Yeah.
Language is sick.
It is sick, and it's frightening.
This really gets to me. I couldn't yesterday.
And by the way, you guys, a lot of you guys, I got a lot of negative messages from listeners that I didn't roll my window down for that homeless guy the other day at the gas station down the road. I mean,
a video, by the way, that happened to me a couple of times actually, but I was not in my car. Well, one time, yes, long ago. I was in Fort Lauderdale, and also I think it was Sunrise, which is not good to be out at 2 in the morning, but that was back when I was in high school. I had a guy come up to me and do the same thing, and I just got in my car.
Yeah, you got to get out of there. You never know when you're going to be carjacked.
On another note, I DM'd you about something you said about the shop, about appointments. I DM'd you so you could read it.
About what? About what?
About the shots.
Oh, the vaccine. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'll take a look. I will look at my DMs. Okay. All right, Mike and Boca, take care. I'll check my DMs during the break. Hey, listen, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll take our break and be right back with your calls after this. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors. focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam.
Oh, yeah. Got some good information in a DM there. Yeah, if you guys ever want to message me, DM me on Twitter, Instagram, Brian Craig Show. Good ways to reach me.
Your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about the MyPillow weighted blanket. Steve got me one for Christmas. I just love it. It wraps me in comfort.
Hey, Rich? Rich! Rich is the board out down the hall. Got a tech issue trying to figure out here. He couldn't hear me. I'll have to, during the next break, I'll have to go outside the studio and get him.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. It is 48 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. Got a good message from Mike in Boca. Thanks for sending me that DM. Gave me some good information there that I'm not sharing with you yet. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning. This is Jerry from the Bay Area, California.
Oh, great. Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco, where the COVID relief bill just paid off the entire debt of the city. Isn't that wonderful?
Man, it's a clown world over here.
Hey, did they clean up the hypodermic needles and the feces and stuff off the streets yet, or is that still everywhere?
It's ironic that we traded straws for other tubes that are plastic that are syringes.
Wow. So what's on your mind? What'd you give me a call for?
Well, I wanted somebody to clear up something that I saw on the presser that Biden had the other day. They had a question about him sending the bill to the manufacturer of the gun that caused the Colorado, tragedy that happened. And he went off and started talking about infrastructure, like something totally off, subject.
Yeah.
Was I the only one that caught that, or why is nobody?
Well, it was the Biden press conference was rambling and incoherent, even though it was pre-planned and everything else. Yeah, I did catch that, and it's amazing to me because I thought the Obama stimulus took care of all the infrastructure problems with all the shovel-ready projects and all the bridges and the roads. I guess they did something with that money. I don't know what they did with that money.
Okay, and another comment on the incident in D.C. about the two girls and the driver. I think drugs come in play, and maybe the year's riot.
Yeah.
That just happened there.
Yeah. So how are things going in San Francisco? Are you open? Are you locked down? What's going on?
They're barely starting to open. I mean, they got the gyms open, but you have to work out in masks.
Yeah.
They got, you could go to, breweries or restaurants, but there's no TVs. They don't want, people congregating.
There's no TVs?
You could go and have a beer and meal, but there's no TVs.
Well, that's progress. You can now go to restaurants in San Francisco.
Congregate.
Let me ask you: Do you live in the city? Whereabouts are you?
I live in Hayward, California.
What was that?
It's my lunchtime. I'm actually
Lunchtime. Oh, you're an overnight worker. What do you do for a living?
security at a hospital.
Oh, okay. I don't know how a security guard affords to live in the Bay Area.
It's tough, but I'm doing it.
All right. Hey, listen. Take care, San Francisco. Appreciate the call. Yeah. Security guard in the Bay Area. Out in California, it's coming up on 4 a.m. and it's lunchtime. Hardworking guy, right? All right. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Do you want to use Brian? Because
I like Wheezy.
I don't want to know which name I want to go by. So it's up to you.
I like Wheezy.
Go with Wheezy because you're the one who gave me Wheezy. I told my name was Lloyd a long time ago, but we'll go with Wheezy. Okay? Because now
every good caller deserves a nickname.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Wheezy. Even though it's Lori, I'll go with Wheezy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm calling. Let's see if we can stay on subject. Okay, I'm going to try to stay on subject. I have two things I want to talk about, but I know me and you only get through one of them. I watched your podcast. I just woke up.
That's okay.
I watched your podcast over the weekend. I still study. And you were talking about Ted Cruz and him and the rest of the senators going up to down to Texas and riding the boat and standing out in the wilderness, looking over across the border, right?
Yeah.
That video. But you know what I don't understand? The wall. The wall that Trump built. Because if you could actually see a flashlight and they could hear voices, don't you think that should have been part of the state that should have had a wall?
Uh-huh.
They could literally walk across the water. Where's the wall?
Okay, now you've asked a question several times. Are you ready for the answer? You have to be quiet. I'm waiting. I don't want you to feel victimized. I want you to feel you've gotten your question out. Now, a couple reasons. Now, one reason is the wall was not completed, right? Didn't have time to complete it. Takes time to build things, and Biden stopped further construction. Second, they weren't building the wall on the riverbank, right? They were building it in other areas where people come by land. But those are the two reasons why there was no particular wall there. Mainly because the Democrats held him up in court so long, it took him a couple years to get started, and then Biden stopped further construction. So that's why. It's Biden's fault.
Okay, I have something to that. Now, if you can walk across the water, I would imagine that would be the first.
No, you don't. They didn't. No one was walking across the water. No one was walking across the water.
If you could hear.
Only one man could walk across water.
Our country, if you could hear voices from their country to our country, that's pretty close.
It is close.
Some place that I would imagine you would start cutting them off there, because believe me, I want them cut off too.
Oh, okay. So you differ. Okay, so you're. This is interesting, Wheezy. So you were distancing yourself from Joe Biden. You want to stop the flow of undocumented migrants into this country. So you want to stop it. So you don't. You're distancing yourself from the Biden. There's no wall there because Biden stopped construction and Trump didn't have time to finish it.
One time you put up one of your things. They show, the things you put up every morning for us to see. One time you put up one where the migrants are climbing over Trump's wall.
Yes.
Why did you put that up? Because if they can climb over it, what good is the wall?
Well, I don't remember the exact. I do remember a video of that. It's been a while since I've seen it. On Twitter, I do put up a lot of things. Any barrier can be climbed. I mean, you could if you remember when Trump first became president, someone climbed up Trump Tower. There have been people who have climbed the Empire State Building. Okay, so hold on a second. So people can always climb things. Now the piece. I know which one you're talking about. The portion where they were handing kids over, that was old wall, not new Trump wall. So a lot of what Trump was doing was replacing old wall that was too low and things like that. That particular picture you're talking about didn't that wasn't Trump wall. That was old fencing.
If the Mexicans can take a boat and ride across right there, right where Cruz was, that would be a part I'd imagine I'd have thought.
Well, the border is very long. The border is very long, and if the Democrats wouldn't have, excuse me, if he didn't have time to finish the wall.
Started with.
Well, then they would come to another part. You got to start somewhere. It wasn't completed. The wall's Biden's. So you want. So this is. So you hold on, Wheezy. So were you telling us that you want Joe Biden to complete the wall that he stopped? Is that what you're saying, Wheezy?
Oh, I wish.
Well, you say there should be a wall there. I agree with you.
I wish. Listen, Joe Biden could do nothing wrong, just like Trump could do nothing wrong. Compared to getting rid of Trump, I don't care what Joe Biden do.
Oh, you don't care what Joe Biden does? Really? Well, that's interesting.
I did not want him to relax the situation of having all their migrants coming across the border like they are now.
Yeah, so he did it. Yeah, he did it.
Good idea.
Well, Biden thinks it is.
Ford to have all of them kids here now have to be taken care of by government money.
Well, this isn't okay. Now, Wheezy, we got to run because it's the end of the hour. But I want to welcome you to the Trump train because you're on board the MAGA train now. Yeah, you're talking like a MAGA person.
That's just common sense.
I know Donald Trump and his ideas are common sense ideas. What your position is the complete polar opposite of the Democrat position.
Just like Stella's an idiot. Stella's a big idiot. We don't care if you don't take the
All right, Wheezy, we got to run for our top of the hour break, but welcome to the MAGA movement. Welcome to the Trump train. I've been telling you guys for weeks. Wheezy's frustration is she's realizing how much she agrees with Trump. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. There's only one opening on the board where Wheezy was. If you're on hold, stand by. We will go back to our calls after the break. We got a lot more to talk about, too. Steve will be joining us a little bit later in the program. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that
Didn't I tell you guys about Wheezy?
At some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. With the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of...
Hey guys, by the way, did all of you catch my wife's video last night? My wife, for the first time, she made a video all by herself without me on my YouTube channel. I thought it was a pretty good one. It's the one on those shoes that everyone's talking about.
These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective...
Yeah, everyone, if you could like the video, please like, everybody in the chat room right now, like the video and share it on at least one of your social media platforms.
Or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my MyPillow topper.
You order the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. it's fantastic.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, 8-GO-KANE 1.
All right, guys, welcome back. Yes. It is 3 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I am Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you've just tuned in, you've missed a lot. The president, the 45th president, President Trump, is going to make a surprise trip to the border any day. Told Judge Janine over the weekend he's going, so it's been confirmed. And I'm telling you, we're just going to all of a sudden get a notification on our phone and find out that President Trump is either at the southern border or he was just there and left. One or the other. It's going to happen. And Wheezy called in right before the top of the hour break and wants to shut down the southern border. So we want to welcome everyone. Please welcome Wheezy to the Trump train. This is great. What a great way to start the week off. We've converted Wheezy. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hello. This is Colleen from Virginia Beach.
Hey, Colleen.
Hey, I was just found out on the New York Post there was also 4 teenager boys arrested in Washington, D.C. for carjacking. Let me read this paragraph here. In what may be part of the disturbing trend, cops on Saturday busted 2 13-year-old boys on 2 back-to-back armed carjackings just days after 2 teenage girls were charged with murdering the Uber driver. And there was another article that I read that since January of this year, there was about 20-something carjacking.
So there's some crime boss in D.C. who has a bunch of kids working for him, sending them out to do crime.
That's what my husband and I were talking about. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like, what is it, like the movie where the guy goes and has these boys and they go out and pickpocket. Oh, what is the name of that movie?
Yeah, it's on the. I know. It's Oliver Twist. Yes. Well, this is a little bit beyond pickpocketing, and someone was murdered. Yeah.
But they had an adult backing them. So and also with Wheezy, the children, the people running over the fence, those were the old fences.
That's what I told her, yeah.
They can hardly get over the new. If you would watch on YouTube, Oscar L. Blue, him and 3 other people go to Mexico. They go along the U.S.-Mexico border and show the wall. So I have been watching it, and I have been watching the illegals coming over And now, and a 9-year-old girl just got drowned.
Yeah.
And this has got to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So much scary.
Well, I was talking at the top of the first hour. Breitbart had a video. They had 4 kids, one 17-year-old boy, and 3 younger kids that were 11 and 12. And this 12-year-old girl spoke English as well as you and I are doing, right? And she said she walked there from Belize. And I was talking about how none of them were dirty. Their clothes were clean. Their bodies were clean. They looked well fed and hydrated. Yeah, I didn't see their shoes. But if you're walking that far, you would be sweaty, dirty, dehydrated, hungry. And none of these. So I don't know, how are they getting to the border? Who's it's like they came on an air conditioned bus or something.
These children that are coming over, they should look disstuffled. They're being driven over. They are being.
Well, something's going on, and we don't have reporters anymore that are interested in finding out what's going on. And there was a reporter interviewing these girls, and the one spoke perfect English with hardly an accent. And the question I was waiting for is, how did you get here? They were just about to surrender themselves to U.S. Customs Enforcement. How did you? He didn't ask because they don't want to ask.
I was just reading this article. On Thursday, 2 different boys, ages 13 and 14, were also arrested in the city for carjacking, and they had a gun.
Well, you can't have a gun in D.C. Guns are illegal in D.C. unless you're a cop.
I know.
No, they have gun control in D.C. No one has guns in D.C. In D.C., now, excuse me, you must be mistaken. In Washington, I'm making a very clever point using very clever humor. Okay, in D.C., they have the strictest gun control laws in America. In fact, police officers cannot even take their weapons home with them. So how can an underage person have a gun in D.C. where they're illegal? It's as if gun control laws don't work because, like you said, well, yeah, there's also a law against carjacking.
Okay, let me let you go. Let somebody else.
Man, do you want to welcome Wheezy to the Trump train? Wasn't that amazing?
Yes, welcome, Wheezy. Love you.
Yeah, all right, yes. Blexit going on here. Oh, man. I saw some of Candace Owens' first, speaking of Blexit, some of her show over there with Ben Shapiro. Did any of you guys catch this? I caught a clip. I don't subscribe to the Daily Mail. I caught a clip on YouTube. Maybe I'll talk about it later. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Brian. It's Rolanda. You know, the mayor of D.C. and the one in Atlanta are 2 of the stupidest women on the...
Well, don't forget the mayor of Baltimore, where they're not going to arrest people for small drugs and prostitution and things now. Yeah.
What you're dealing with are sociopaths. These are kids who probably have been on the street, or they come from family situations, if you can call it that, where basically the law of the jungle rules. And what you have now are basically sociopaths that have been made, that have been created. With regards to the border, and I heard Weezy talk about the wall and whatnot. See, here's what she doesn't understand. The Democrats have no use for people like her anymore. Okay, they're dying off. Okay, they're a dying breed. They need new constituents. They need somebody to vote for them. So right now, they don't care whether they flood this thing through to the roof. Okay, most of Black America is tuned out. Black America knows about the Democrats by now, so they need new constituents, and that's what they're in the process of getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and another thing too, they're trying to do with blacks is, Tiffany Cross, which is a strange last name for a liberal black woman to have. Cross, but Tiffany Cross, she replaced Joy Reid on the weekends on MSNBC, and she wants Meghan McCain fired from The View for her racist views. I don't know if Tiffany Cross is aware of this, but Joe Biden is her godfather, and since Meghan McCain's father is no longer with us, Joe Biden is in effect her father. So Tiffany Cross of MSNBC is calling for Joe Biden's daughter to be fired for being a racist. So what's going on here? They're yeah.
You know what? It pays to no politics. It pays to no relationships.
It sure does, doesn't it?
And with regards to our Governor DeSantis, do you know, and Candace brought this out when she was Turning Point, do you know that Governor DeSantis did very well among black single women
really?
When he ran? Yes, he did very well among black single women.
Now, aren't most black women single, or is that a myth?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a myth, but it could be that way. I don't know about the younger generation, but my generation, to be honest with you, that was the case. But he has done very well among black women.
Why do you think that is, Ron DeSantis?
There's a certain sincerity about him when you hear him talk. He does what he says he's going to do. Even now with the COVID thing, Brian, the man is just up on it. He's another Trump in that regard.
Well, what he's done in Florida, this press conference over the weekend about the CDC and the cruise industry, DeSantis said every industry is open in Florida except the cruise industry. That's right. There's no need to keep it closed.
Exactly. And there are people who need to work in that industry, and I'm glad that he is up on it in this particular case.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be, trust me, he wouldn't be.
If God help us, if it wasn't for President Trump, Gillum would be our governor. DeSantis had a tough primary that he was losing until Trump got involved. Trump, yeah.
What bothers me right now, Brian, is that in Broward, we elected another board of supervisors, and that person, the person that's there now, is going to be gone.
Yeah. I know.
That things go well here, and
well, I know, but if Gillum were our governor instead of Ron DeSantis, we would have the strictest lockdowns we ever you've ever seen in this country. We would not be, and we'd still be under them. Nothing would be open. Florida would be in collapse, and he would be there with that condescending tone of his. So I'm just doing what the doctors say. Well, the doctors say don't do drugs with male prostitutes, in the Miami Beach too, Gillum. Yeah, he's trying to have a comeback.
And don't impose a 40% tax on all businesses.
Yeah. All right. Take care. All right, Rolanda. Appreciate the call. Let's take one more call before we break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, I just seen that video, and I really think that you should have offered that gentleman something like to eat or something. Maybe something.
I didn't have food in my car. I don't walk around with. I didn't have food in my vehicle. You're talking about the tweaker?
Yeah, the homeless guy or whoever.
Did you see the video of me with this guy?
Yeah.
Did it look like he was hungry? Okay, you saw the video of me with the homeless guy you could tell he startled me. He came up behind me. I'm sitting in my car. Now, did he look like he was hungry for food or drugs?
He was rubbing his stomach.
That was part of the act to get the money.
Oh, okay, so you're saying, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that was part of his routine. That was part of his con.
I just thought maybe you might have wanted to help him, even with a cup of coffee or something.
I didn't have anything to give him. I didn't even have money. I don't carry cash. I guess, if he takes Apple Pay, I guess I could have helped him, but I don't think I'd want to take my iPhone 12 Pro out to swipe on his Apple. Homeless people should take Apple Pay. They do much better.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you. I just thought he needed.
Are you kidding? That guy was aggressive. Even when I said no, he was still after me. Are you crazy?
Crazy. I would have wanted to help him.
Well, I'm not happy that he's living on the streets of Democrat Broward County.
County you live?
That was Broward County. That was for you guys. That video is in Deerfield. It's on Hillsborough Boulevard. It's at a really bad, dumpy little area between I-95 and US 1 on Hillsborough Boulevard in Deerfield, and it's a very bad area. It's a very bad area. It's a bad area. There's a Popeyes there. Anytime there's a Popeyes around, I like Popeyes chicken, but if there's a Popeyes around, you're in a bad area.
Okay, well, you're doing it for I hope you don't get in that same situation again.
Well, what you want me to be in that situation? What situation? You wanted me to help him. Now you don't want me to be in those situations?
No, I mean, I believe you should have helped somebody that's down.
I do help people that are down. My wife and I give to people all the time. My wife in particular gives all kinds of help to people directly all the time. All the time. We're not rich, but we do have a lot of charity. I'm going to go through it now. It's not like I'm bragging or something because I don't want to sound that way, but or justifying not. Well, I tell you what. You roll your windows down, the tweakers, all day if you want. Okay.
Well, if somebody came up to me like that, I'm going to help them.
Okay. Yeah, like the Uber Eats driver, right? You saw what happened in D.C. with the Uber Eats driver.
I don't care about that.
You don't care about that? The man was murdered. You don't care about that? You're upset at me because I didn't give some tweaker who approached me from behind, and you don't care about a guy who was murdered in D.C.? Oh, well, you heard about it now.
Okay, well, I just...
Mm-hmm. Why do you slur in your... Why is your speech all slurred?
Why do you insult people that are... I don't understand. You insult everybody.
I asked you why your speech is slurred.
Oh, like the other guy that called yesterday that was 78 years old. Why did he get up in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock?
Yesterday was Sunday. I wasn't on the air live yesterday.
I don't know.
You don't even know what day it is. Friday. Okay. What about Friday?
That's when the elderly gentleman called. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it sounded like you. Was it?
You insulted him.
Uh-huh. Well, this is the way I take it, okay? If you feel insulted, I ask you why your speech is slurred, and you get all offended. Why is that an insult?
My speech is not slurred.
Oh, okay. All right. Really?
No, it's not, but I just was thinking...
What do you guys think in the listening audience? Give me a call. Is this guy's speech slurred? It sounds slurred to me. And if you're not aware that it is, I thought you might tell me you've got some type of health condition, you've had a stroke or something. You might say that now because I just fed it to you. But, you didn't do that. You said your speech is not slurred.
I've never had a stroke in my life.
Okay. What's your favorite drink? You a beer drinker, a liquor drinker?
No, I don't drink. Smoke.
Okay.
Dude, how about that? I don't do anything like that.
Then what's up with your voice? Why is your voice all messed up?
Because I've been waiting on the line to say this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just wanted to tell you what I thought about the video.
Well, that's good. Thank you. I appreciate your advice, but I'm not gonna roll my window down and take my wallet out to people that are tweakers on the street. That's crazy. That's asking to be a crime victim.
Okay.
What type of... Do you take prescription medications? Maybe.
Maybe next time, just help somebody when they're down.
Okay. But I think what I did was the right move. You can open up your wallet to tweakers on the street, okay? You can do that. I'm not going to do that. It's not safe.
Thank you so much for your help.
Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Oh, man. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right. On the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this, friends. Do not go anywhere.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, "Why don't you try that mattress top?" I went on. I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price.
Don't throw your old medicine out in dumpsters. That's good advice. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the My Pillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, oh man, hey everybody, like the video if you don't mind, like the video, and if you're not, please subscribe. And there's over 1,000 people in there, so everybody in the chat room, if you could like and share this video, that's amazing. Think about how many more people I could reach with this great program. Over 1,000 of you like and share the video. Over $1,000. So that'd be amazing. Mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress. And hey Debbie, good morning. Your whole bed into a My Pillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your My Pillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free My Pillows, but you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the My Pillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big My Pillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and
that's my Pillow right there. I brought it in this morning.
Entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and
right off the bed. I took the pillowcase off.
Sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, 23 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I just got a DM from someone taking issue with me about the Popeye. I said, if you see a Popeyes, you're in a not-so-nice neighborhood. When have you seen, where is there a Popeyes in a neighborhood where you don't make sure your doors are locked and your windows are rolled up on your car? If you could I like Popeyes. I like Popeyes. They got good mashed potatoes. I like them better than KFC, but they need to put them in some different areas. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. I've got a couple sound bites here. We'll get back to the border issue in a moment. It's very important, but Mayor Pete, who's now Secretary of Transportation, this guy's a real piece of work, Mayor Pete. This is Mayor Pete, Secretary of Transportation. He ran the motor pool for a couple months in Afghanistan, so he knows all about transportation. This is Mayor Pete, the Secretary of Transportation.
What about a mileage-based tax?
So I think that shows a lot of promise. If we believe in that so-called user pays principle, the idea that part of how we pay for roads is you pay based on how much you drive, the gas tax used to be the obvious way to do it. It's not anymore. So a so-called vehicle miles traveled tax or mileage tax, whatever you want to call it, could be a way to do it.
Oh, okay, good. So Mayor Pete wants to turn everybody's car into a taxi cab. You imagine that? He wants to tax you by the mile. And I know, isn't that something? The reason he wants to do this is because the roads are paid for with the gas tax, and so many people are driving Teslas now that this is what he talked about later if you play this whole boring interview. So many people are buying Teslas that they're not getting enough gas tax. This tells you everything you need to know about Mayor Pete and his friends, okay? And his circle, everyone drives a Tesla. How many of you drive a Tesla? How many of you know more than one person with a Tesla? I think the Tesla is pretty cool, but I can't afford a Tesla. You know, I've been in a Tesla. Yeah. They have them on display at the mall. And that Tesla SUV is pretty cool. I like that Tesla SUV, But like the base price is $80,000. How many of you live in a home that you paid less than what a Tesla costs? But in Mayor Pete's world, everyone's driving Teslas. Are you kidding me? And you know, this is so typical of the left, okay? Gotta save the planet, get in electric vehicles. So now they want to have a by-mile tax. Are you kidding me? You know, another thing about this is, how would they turn... So Mayor Pete, he says very promising. He wants to turn everyone's car into a taxi for the government. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. So how are they going to do that? Is Mayor Pete going to put a device in all of our vehicles that monitor our movements and how far we drive? And it reports to the federal government? And at the end of the year, we owe them a cab fare and our own private vehicle? Every time you do anything, let's say, so someone that has a Tesla, they're not buying gas, right, at the gas station. Okay. They still renew their auto tags. That's a tax. They purchase the car. That has a tax on it. Doesn't it? Of course it does. You know, they're plugged in at home every night. I don't know, you know, I do have one person in my family that has a Tesla. They live in a mansion in Miami that costs $1 million. Okay, that's, you know, that's not me. But they plug it into the house every night. Right? How many fees are added to the electric bill? You're still taxed. So Mayor Pete wants to turn your car, your private vehicle, into a taxi. That's a brilliant idea, Mayor Pete. Now, I have a recollection that during the primaries with the Democrats, he doesn't drive, does he, Mayor Pete? Does Mayor Pete own a car? I'd like to know what he owns. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm just wondering if Mr. Mayor Pete, is he going to be paying those taxes? I don't think he is.
Well, he probably is driven. He's the Secretary of Transportation, so he probably is driven around at this point in a big gas guzzling SUV that he doesn't have to pay the gas for, because we pay for it.
But do you not, this is how I see it, right? They're going to make gas so expensive that you will have no other choice but to drive electric. And then they're going to, if God forbid this goes through, they're going to tax your mileage.
Yeah.
They're going to make it so that you only go to work and come home and stay local.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Democrats. Democrats believe that humans, this is true. You know what they think people are? The Democrats? What do they think we are?
They think we're slaves.
Slaves, that may be. Let me explain it a different way. Democrats like Mayor Pete and Biden and all these people, they believe that the American people, that we're an organism that excretes nothing but money to give to them. We're a money-producing organism. That's all we are. We work, and then we excrete cash to give to them. The Matrix, you ever see the Matrix movie?
You know what?
The Matrix is about that. That's what the Matrix is about.
Suggested that to me this weekend. But I will tell you, people like Wheezy, and I could say this because I used to be liberal, people like Wheezy and people, like me when I used to be Wheezy, the difference between Wheezy and Rolanda, I love Rolanda. I think she's so incredibly brilliant and bright and just articulate. I would love to have lunch with Rolanda. Wheezy wants to be Rolanda, but she just can't.
Well, Wheezy, see that today's call with Wheezy, see, I've been saying this for weeks because Wheezy, I've been doing this a long time, and callers that are liberal, there's an evolution with them, right? And I've been telling you guys for the last few weeks that Wheezy, she's very angry, her calls are hostile, and she's coming to terms with the fact that she's agreeing with us. And today, she agreed with President Trump on the southern border policy. She said there wasn't enough wall. What's going on down there is outrageous. She joined the MAGA train, and the disaster at the southern border is what's done it.
For president and vice president, because what they're actually doing is they are like facilitating child trafficking. They're facilitating it, and if they're making $14 billion do this, it's not stopping anytime soon. Weezy should really, instead of bashing Trump, because, you know, I'm sure Weezy is CNN, MSNBC brainwashed, just like I used to be. Weezy should take a hard look in the mirror and check herself about whatever she thinks.
Yeah.
Normally, that's what you are.
Yeah, no, Weezy has woken up. They call it, is that the red pilled, right? She's been red pilled. She's got a little bit of rejection going on inside, but she agrees with us on this stuff. She just doesn't have it within her to do it, to admit it openly. So she's dealing with some inner torture. She needs to make an appointment with Dr. Janae Lamaski, our psychologist. She really does. She does telemedicine. You don't have to be in town to see Dr. Lamaski.
I'll tell you, when I got red pills, I was actually ashamed at how easily manipulated and how easily led astray I was. And I live in one of the most liberal towns in Pennsylvania, and I can tell you one thing about liberals. As soon as you don't agree with them, they cancel you.
Yeah, they do. They do. And, you know, I remember when I became a Republican, I used to be a Democrat too. I'm like you, I'm a recovered liberal. And I remember I went to the voter registration office here in South Florida, Broward County, and I registered in person as a Republican, and I left with my voter's card. I felt clean. You know? Clean.
The backlash I've gotten since I've spoken up, I can't get a table downtown.
That's okay. There's a whole new friend. And so far as tables, by the way, hey, thanks for the call. So far as tables, speaking of tables and restaurants and great food, Wings Plus in Coral Springs, a longtime sponsor of the Steve Kane Show. They've been with us for over a decade, Wings Plus in Coral Springs, the Sample Road location. And I've been eating there for many years, longer than they were a sponsor here on the program. They have the best wings anywhere. I'm a big wings guy. They have more than just wings. They have fresh salads, fresh homemade soups, the best hamburgers you'll have anywhere. And their boar's head sandwiches, oh man, they're overstuffed and just perfect. But I do get those on occasion. I'm a wings guy. They have and not only are their wings the tastiest, they're filled with chicken. Yeah, I know. I've been to wings places all over the place, okay? And never have I been to a place where the wings are not only this tasty, but they're just filled with chicken each and every time. A lot of these places you go, they got some grizzle and they put a bunch of hot sauce on it or something. Say, here's your wing. Not Wings Plus on Sample Road. It's the best. And right now, as I'm talking about Wings Plus on Sample Road, I just see how the mind works. I just smelled the wings. I can smell the wings right now. They're that good. My mouth is watering. Oh man. And I'll tell you how they became a sponsor on the show. I've been eating there, and the Sample Road location is a couple blocks from our old studio in Coral Springs. And I told Steve, I said, go over there, get those wings. They're the best wings you've ever had. You're going to love them because Steve's a wings guy. And he went over for lunch at Wings Plus on Sample Road. The next day, we're doing spots for them right here on the show. That's right. He's like, wow, this is the best. Steve likes the lemon pepper. And I usually get the medium hot wings. And I went over there once with Steve. We were having lunch, and he ordered the lemon pepper, which I had never had before. And he had a basket of lemon pepper. I had a basket of medium. I said, hey, can I try one of those lemon peppers? Steve said, sure. I tried it. Boom. I ate Steve's whole basket. And my basket, and then I ordered another basket to take home. Listen, Wings Plus, a Sample Road location. The owner, his name's Brian too. Stop in there, tell him you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Wings Plus is located about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. All right, We'll be right back after this. Do not go anywhere. If you're on hold, stand by. One opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We'll be back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. There's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. I'll take a couple calls, then I'll get back into the main issue of the day, which is President Trump visiting the southern border and things related. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
William?
Yes, William. You're on the air. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that if this pandemic was so bad...
well, that's not true, and that's not true, and you know it's not true, and I'm not going to waste time with you. I know who you are. Let me take another call. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yes, you're on the air.
Hi, I'm Wu from Wyoming. How are you?
Your name is Wu?
Wu from Wyoming. How are?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Oh, thank you so much for taking my call. Listen, I wanted to run something by you. I know that
here we
go. In the Suez Canal, and I wonder if you're privy to the report on that.
Well, I think they're moving it. Right? Has it been moved yet? Is it cleared up? What are your thoughts? Is there some vast conspiracy?
I'm a little concerned because beyond the fact that it's parked sideways in the Suez Canal, which is owned by China, and I'm sure you're very...
Well, isn't everything owned by China these days?
You know, they have a vested interest in the Suez.
Oh, so you're suggesting that this was done on purpose to do what?
They have the containers on board the ship. I have heard reports that not only is our military embarking on this like a lion, but also Russia is embarking on this situation like a lion, and is...
Nah, it's too much thinking about something. No conspiracy. Like Exxon Valdez wasn't a... You know, sometimes things happen. No conspiracies. No plot. Yeah, just sometimes accidents happen, right? I mean, that's just what it is. I know. A lot of people like to make a
Are Israeli doctors boarding the ship?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there something about that? What are the Jews responsible? What are you suggesting?
I'm not saying anybody.
Well, no, you're asking a lot of questions. Why are Jews boarding the ship? What is that about?
Well, it's not just Jews.
Well, they're Israeli. That's the Jewish state. That's the same thing. You said Jewish doctors. You're so okay.
Only with Israel.
Well, what does that mean? What do you mean by that?
That's what I'm asking you. What do you think it means?
Well, obviously, it's. I think that when I want a doctor, I typically go to the doctor, and typically they're a Jew, right? Because I guess I'm in Florida, so I don't know. I mean, a lot of great Jewish doctors out there. What, do you got a problem?
Where I'm at, there is that's not a.
What do you mean? There aren't good Jews where you're at? What did you say?
What I'm saying is, what? Man, in my region.
Where are you at?
Population. You guys have a different population there, but what I'm trying.
You live in a. Where do you live where there are not Jews?
But I'll let you finish your.
No. When you said you asked me a question. Why are there Jewish doctors boarding this ship? What does that mean to you? What what does that mean to you?
Israeli doctors, they're not.
Well, if they're Israeli, they're most likely Jewish, right?
Yes, but
okay.
Not just like Jewish doctors from Hialeah. Okay, they're from Israel.
Hialeah, you know a lot about South Florida from someone from Wyoming.
Would Israel be involved?
I don't know. Is there some conspiracy with that?
Enlightenment.
Yeah, you've enlightened us a lot. And where'd you say you're calling from? Wyoming? Woo in Wyoming? Where are you?
From the state that Liz Cheney is.
Well, it sounds to me you have enlightened the audience. You've enlightened the audience. And now again, I'm hoping to be wrong about this, but you've enlightened the audience that anti-Semitism apparently may very well be alive in Wyoming. I mean, the idea that you're suspicious of Jews boarding a ship in the Suez Canal is just so strange. Israelis, I mean, that's just bizarre.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make.
What, that you're anti-Semitic? Okay, if you're trying to make the point that you're anti-Semitic, I don't know if you are or not. Sounds a little borderline there. If you're trying to make that point, you've made it pretty clear. All right. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Oh, man. That's weird. That was a weird call, wasn't it? That was weird. You know what these weird callers, it's the time change, right? We're a couple weeks into it, and people are weirded out. Okay, now, I'm going to mention this going into the break. We'll talk about it a little bit. Also, Steve will be joining us at the top of the hour. We're going to get back into the southern border issue, too, but there's a lot of I don't want to get sidetracked on this too much, but I just want to mention this to you. Steve got his first vaccination yesterday. I guess you get the second one in 2 or 3 weeks. I am going to try to get mine today. I don't have an appointment yet. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he just lowered the age starting today to 40 and above, so I'm in that bracket. I'm going to try to go somewhere to get an appointment today. I got a tip on a place where you don't need an appointment. You can just walk up. So I'm going to go there right after the show. And then Mike and Boca sent me a DM on Twitter that gave me another way that I may be able to get a shot without an appointment because I want to get it done. Biden is talking about COVID passports, or vaccination passports. And I know this is a controversial thing for people. To start school in America, you have to show your proof of vaccinations, right? If you travel to certain countries, you have to get certain vaccinations. I've had countless vaccinations throughout my life. I remember when I first moved to Florida, I had to get some more vaccinations because I didn't have all my documents from Ohio. I know before my daughter started school, when we registered her, we had to show proof of vaccinations. I off the top of my head, just haven't thought about it. I'm not that concerned about this, and I'll just say this, okay? I'll say this. I know some of you might get upset with me about this, but I'm going to try to get if I don't get my first injection today, I'll get an appointment and I'll have it soon. But this vaccine, regardless of what Fauci is saying, is Trump's vaccine. Trump said, get it. He's had it. The First Lady's had it. He says, get it. And he's responsible for the development of it. So I know a lot of people are upset about the vaccine and a lot of questions. This is Trump's vaccine, and he said get it. Okay, so just want to throw that out there. All right, let's take our break. It's 46 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is. On the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this with your calls. Steve will be joining us at the top of the hour, and I've got some audio I want to get to after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the cars for him like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101.
Steve Kane Show.
561-245-8101.
All right, hon.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just got a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. You know, I'm in studio today, not alone. I brought with me, well, one of the 2 things I sleep with every night. No, not my wife. She's at home. I sleep with her every night. But I also brought my pillow. I brought in my pillow this morning. I took the pillowcase off. And this is the My Pillow that I sleep on each and every night. I've had it for over 2 years. And, you know, the one I have, you know, you can get these My Pillows with different levels of fill. This is the least firm. And I've tried all of them because they come in different fill levels. You can pick how you want it. Least fill, medium fill, more fill, or most of the fill. Right, which makes it the most firm. The least makes it, you know, and I like it with the least. That's what's most comfortable for me. Some people like the most firm. Some people like the medium. They got it in all of them, and in my house, we've got all of them. Because everybody has, my wife has the most firm. That's how we tell them apart at night. Sometimes we'll say, oh, you've got my pillow, and then we switch, you know. And I brought this in today, and I spilled some coffee on it when I was coming up in the elevator, but that's okay. I'm going to go home and wash it because they are machine washable, come with a 10-year warranty. Now, there's an incredible special going on, the lowest price ever on the My Pillow. When you use the promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com, Kane, just $29.98. That's a great price. Just $29.98 with the promo code Kane, Kane. You know, this one here, my wife, she paid $85 for this My Pillow. I've had this over 2 years. Before they were a sponsor of ours here on the Steve Kane Show. She bought it retail. Can you imagine? But you can get this same pillow for just $29.98. And you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout or call 1-800-716 $48.79. They make great gifts for Mother's Day. And we give MyPillows as gifts all the time because everybody loves a MyPillow and there's a great low price on them. And I'll tell you another great thing for Mother's Day too is the mattress topper. The mattress topper. Turn your entire mattress into a MyPillow mattress with the mattress topper. Your mom would love it. You can give it to your wife for a Mother's Day gift too, and you can kind of benefit as well. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code Kane. When you go to MyPillow.com, there's something for every mother on your gift-giving list, all right? Sheets, towels, pillow topper, the MyPillow dog bed, just $19.99. I have one of those too, with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Or, of course, the premium MyPillow, $29.98 with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. All right. So this was some weekend. This was some weekend. President Trump confirmed to Judge Jeanine that he is going to the border. Here he is.
When do you think that you would go? When do you think you would go to the border?
Over the next couple of weeks, the Border Patrol wants me to go.
Okay. Now, I think I was talking about this at 6 o'clock, and I want to get this prediction out there because when I'm right about this, I want everybody to make sure they've heard this. He told Judge, I saw this Saturday night. President Trump told Judge Jeanine Saturday night he's going to go to the southern border in a couple of weeks. Then he went on to say, "Oh, there's no hurry for me to go down there." I think that's misdirection. Kamala Harris, who according to some reports threw a fit over the past few days because she is still staying at the Blair House. The vice presidential residence is going through some remodeling, and she's living out of a suitcase. The Blair House is a mansion. And by the way, President Truman and his entire family lived there for a year when they were remodeling the White House when he was president. So it was good enough for Truman. And Bess, what was his daughter's name? I forgot. The one that couldn't sing or whatever. That he was it she couldn't play piano or couldn't sing that he wrote the letter about? I don't remember. It's good enough for her. Okay, but she was, she's not concerned about the southern border. And Ted Cruz going to the southern border with all those senators over the weekend before Kamala and, of course, before Biden means that Kamala isn't planning on going to the southern border because she doesn't want to follow Cruz down there, okay, because he already did it. President Trump, I think, is just going to show up there. We're going to find out about it either while he's there or right after he left. Now that he's not the sitting president, he still has a group around him, but it's much smaller. He has his own plane. He has his own helicopter. He can go there without anyone knowing. People will think he's going off to play golf somewhere, and boom, he could decide right now, at this moment in time, he could be listening to me up at Mar-a-Lago. And by the way, I drove by Mar-a-Lago over the weekend, and I turned on the radio station and could hear it. I heard Richard Pearl on his weekend show, Pearls of Health, his health show on the weekend over Mar-a-Lago. So if President Trump could be listening to me right now at Mar-a-Lago and decide, I'm going to go to the border right now and just leave. He's got his own aircraft. They'll think he's going out to play golf, and he'll be at the airport gone. We'll find out at lunch he's there. He could do that. So I think he said a couple of weeks because he wants to get there before Kamala goes down and does it. And Kamala, if you read these stories, she is livid that the vice presidential residence is not ready yet. It's being remodeled, and she's living in the... She's more concerned about that than the southern border that she's been put in charge of by Biden. So we really need President Trump to get to the southern border before Kamala. We really do. Because, and Trump knows that. President Trump he knows how to handle the media. He knows all about timing. He knows how to manipulate the media. The media are dying right now for news. Biden's boring. They want Trump, okay? They want Trump. Him going to the border will be a media madhouse. It'll be a week of discussions, a week of analysis. The media will love it. And once Kamala goes, She's following Trump. Trump already went down there. So this is spectacular. Now, Ted Cruz had his historic trip. You may have seen him down there on the riverbank. Then he went in to the detention facility where the children are, and Biden's worker was trying to stop him from showing the American people the poor conditions without any social distancing that these kids are going through. They're in those silver blankets that look like Chipotle burrito wrappers, and they're lying down on the cold concrete floor inside these enclosed cells. Even though their cells are transparent, they're not bars. They're like plexiglass walls, or maybe transparent aluminum, if you get that reference. And no social distancing in this age. And Cruz, he goes there. Listen.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the
You
rules,
keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give
American
the
people
people
in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well, no,
Dignity
it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and respect
pandemic.
to the people.
Let me
I
ask you. There's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic. Is this respecting the rights of these
I
kids?
ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
as such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like this.
policies,
That's all I ask
unfortunately,
for you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed when 18
I ask
senators
you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect them, and I
respect.
want to fix this situation.
We all wanna
and
fix
the
it, sir.
administration
We don't
you're
want
working
this to
for
happen
is
anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and respect.
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
Okay, so first off, Ted Cruz is a sitting United States Senator. He can go into any place he wants to go, all right? And he's the senator of Texas, and he's in Texas. So so he can go wherever he wants. And I'll tell you, did Ted Cruz not make up for that little trip to, where did he go? Cancun with the family to drop him off when the power was out? Oh, man. Over the weekend, you look at this incredible event with Ted Cruz, which was just spectacular. In the boat, on the shores, with the coyotes, all this going on, just wonderful. Just incredibly wonderful. No doubt about that, right? What we're seeing here is a running mate for President Trump. Right now, I ask you guys what you think about this. Does it look like this is going to be Trump's running mate now, Ted Cruz? Because we were talking about all the problems with. We love Ron DeSantis, right? But president and vice president, there's some conflict about them being from the same state. That's a running mate right there. I mean, he really makes you proud over the weekend, Ted Cruz. I've never seen a senator do anything like this, and I'll tell you something. I thought this was a joke. I thought this was a gag online when I saw this, but it's true. You know, the Kennedys gave the Profile and Courage Award to Mitt Romney for voting to remove Trump from office. I know. It's disgusting, isn't it? Take that Democrat award with pride there, Mitt Romney, and become a Democrat while you're at it. But let me tell you, this was pretty courageous what he did, Ted Cruz. It really was. I've never seen, ever seen a member of Congress do a damn thing ever. And what he did over the weekend was bring so much you know what he did? He embarrassed the media, Ted Cruz. You know, I was talking about this over the weekend. I did a YouTube video on this. I showed the video. Ted, if this were a couple years back, it would have been Geraldo down there in that facility. It would have been Geraldo on the riverbanks with the coyotes, not Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz did what the media would not do. He embarrassed the media. He really did. And he did a darn good job. All right, listen. If you heard that beep, that's my watch. It's 8 a.m. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be back with the third and final hour right after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, "Why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top?" I went on. I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. Steve Kane Show. Buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now.
All right, guys. Yes. Third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Good morning, Steve.
This is Steve.
Hey, how you doing? All right. The morning after your first vaccination, how you feeling?
Hey, nothing. So it did take like a 2-hour wait online, but
yeah,
it wasn't bad.
Is your arm sore? Because some people tell me their arm gets a little sore the next day.
Oh, no negative side effects whatsoever. I've heard that if there are problems in
yeah. Yeah, well, okay. Well, that one's a couple weeks away, and I'm gonna try to get mine today if I can. I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Then we'll both we'll be on our way. Anyway, I mean,
what do you think about what's going on down at the border, south of the border?
Well, I think to me it seems like Biden was asked about Trump's trip to the southern border. Let me play this clip. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Biden. Okay, so a reporter got up to Biden and asked Biden about Donald Trump's visiting the southern border. Listen to this. This is Biden's response.
Republican senators at the border. Former President Trump said he's been asked by some Border Patrol agents to go to the border. Do you think that would be productive, and when, any timetable on when you might go?
We are putting in place a plan that I feel very confident about, and I don't care what the other guy does.
Okay, I don't care what the other guy does. He can't even say his name now. It's like puts the lotion in the basket. Put the lotion in the basket. I don't care what the other guy does. Well, he's gonna care when Trump goes down there and there's a media extravaganza going on for a week, and Kamala is dealing with decorators at the vice president residence that she's flipped out about. It's gonna really make him look bad, really bad.
Once Trump gets down there, and they get some film footage of some of these cadaverous look. And they next to Trump.
Yeah.
It's going to set off a whole new line of discussion.
Well, the whole media will be talking about Trump, and his visit, and it's unprecedented, and what was he doing? The only advice, President Trump doesn't need my advice, he's very smart, but if I were to give advice, I would say, he told Judge Jeanine in a couple of weeks. I think it's going to be very soon because he wants to get there before Kamala. That was a misdirection. But the one advice, that was a misdirection to Kamala. My one piece of advice, do not meet with the Mexican president. If he meets with the president of Mexico, they'll throw the Logan Act at him.
Yeah. You have a good point there.
But he knows he's smarter than me, Trump, So he knows not to do that.
It is. I know he's on the phone all the time with Obama, and I'm hearing that he's running things from behind the scenes. Christian, it is a fair question, especially since Joe Biden told us he was going to have unity.
Okay, so Bartiromo has sources that are telling her that Obama is running the government via telephone, and is on. If we only talked about what shocked us, we would talk about nothing, okay? No, but this is, if you notice, this is starting to leak out in the mainstream media now that Obama is in constant communication with the White House and is running things. And that is something else. And I'll tell you, there was a panel over the weekend with Kamala and Bill Clinton about the women, and all this stuff. And, well, I'll tell you what I think's going on. I think President Clinton is working with Kamala. They're preparing her for a transition, and they have Bill Clinton doing the prep work with her. I think that's what's going on, and that would make sense. There's a move going on here, and it's in the transition we were talking about last week with this putting her in charge of the border, which she hasn't visited yet, is part of that transition, and her hanging out with Bill is a part of that too. All right, you want to take some calls? All right, all these calls are screenless. I don't know who's who and what they want to talk about, but we'll find out live on the radio. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, good gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
You said something this morning about the people coming in from South America all looking nice and clean.
Well, no. What I saw was, let me be more specific because I thought this was very interesting. Breitbart had found a video. There were 4 kids interviewed. 3 of them were 11 and 12. One was 17. This 12-year-old girl spoke perfect English. Hardly a trace of an accent at all. I get more accents at Walmart here in town than from this girl. And she said she came from Belize, and they all did. And they were walking, about to surrender to U.S. authorities. They weren't dirty. They weren't sweaty. Their clothes were perfectly clean. They were not... Well, they didn't walk there, and this reporter asked them every question you could imagine, except, how did you get here? Right? And they were implying that they walked there, but there's no way they walked. I mean, you'd be dirtier than that walking down the street and back, That
was one of the things I've been thinking about. Where are they sleeping? Where are they eating? This is
they were not dehydrated.
The pictures that.
Yeah, I mean, there's the press. They don't ask these questions because they don't want to hear the answers. But they obviously were transported there, probably by like a tour bus or something. because they were too clean, too well fed. They were not, and when you go on a trek like that, the heat of the sun has an effect on your body. They were not out in the elements at all. Just for the last bit.
And that's the way they all look. I haven't seen anybody look like, oh my God, how sorry you feel for them. No, everybody looks like in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
This is something. It would be great to have somebody go down there and follow them from the time they leave their country. But anyway, that is another.
Yes. Well, I appreciate the call, Doug. All right, you take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Brian, good morning, Steve. It's Juan from Coral Springs.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, good morning, guys. What the leftists aren't getting is that the people that they're starting and when what Donald Trump started is the fact that they think that Hispanics, me being a Hispanic for whatever that means, that they welcome the illegal immigration. The people in the border towns, from what I hear, I don't know if you guys have heard any different stuff, please tell me, these people are ticked off because, they're driving down wages and letting these people in.
Well, and it's beyond that. My mother-in-law was an immigrant from Canada, right? And she went through a very long, drawn-out process to become a U.S. citizen. She was married with 2 kids and still wasn't a citizen. There was a process. And let me tell you something. There's nothing that pisses people off more than getting cut in line. You ever have anybody cut you off in traffic? People flip out getting cut off in line or and Hispanics that are legal immigrants to the United States, I think are plenty pissed that these people get to cut them in line, no work, no effort, no nothing, and they get to walk right in after you spend years even studying for the test. You got to go to classes. All kinds of things. No, I think people get very upset at anybody who cuts in line or cuts in front of them at traffic, and I don't think the average Hispanic immigrant in this country cares for any of this business.
They're not happy about it. I can tell you that. Like I said, these people cutting in front of the line, like what you just said. But we came here. You know what? We're one of the few. My family was one of the few. We didn't ask to come into this country. My father, since he was the top in his class of medical, was recruited into Canada and then came to this country. Was also recruited into this country, and that's the first thing he's always said for the past 40.
Recruited? What does that mean? Recruited by who? By the CIA?
Because he was in the top echelon of his medical class in Canada. Doctors here in the United States, but they would always recommend him to go to these smaller rural areas, and that's exactly what we did. We grew up in Indiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. All right. Take care. Appreciate the call, Juan. Juan in Coral Springs, good caller. Oh man. Oh goodness, I tell you. That wasn't Ted Cruz amazing over the weekend, Steve?
He's doing great work. You got to give them all credit for putting it on the line going down.
Yeah, but he organized it.
Yeah. We've got a couple of really good guys, and we're going to need them because it's, I don't know, the whole situation is very scary.
There's a ridiculous story going. I'm going to play this audio. Did you see the video of President Trump at crashing the wedding over the weekend? Okay. Yeah, they've got this fake news story out there that Trump crashed a wedding at Mar-a-Lago and went on this crazy rant about his politics. I'm going to play the audio for you. He gave a speech at the wedding all about the issues. And the people got married at Mar-a-Lago. That means they love Trump. There's many places to get married in Florida that are beautiful. And if you don't like Trump and you hate Trump, you could find some place that he didn't own. And you could also find a place to get married at where he doesn't live because he lives there. And I think they were pretty honored to have him come to the wedding. But I noticed he was wearing a tuxedo. I don't know if it was for the wedding or for some event. I don't know. They probably wear tuxedos just for regular dinner there. But let me play some of it. This is President Trump giving the speech at the wedding over the weekend, surprise wedding speech.
I turned off the news, I get all these flash reports, and they're telling me about the border, they're telling me about China, they're telling me about Iran. How are we doing with Iran? How do you like that? Well, they were ready to make a
And it goes on, and they applaud him at the end. I mean, it's an unusual wedding speech, but it's being presented as if he crashed the wedding, went into this insane rant on everything under the sun. It seemed like they loved him to me. And then at the end, let me just play the end.
Systems, everything. So it's a rough thing, and I just say, do you miss me yet?
Yeah, so it seems like the wedding people loved him, and I'm sure the bride and groom got great pictures with the president there, but they're portraying as if they hated Trump, if they didn't want him there, they would not get married at his residence, Mar-a-Lago. But it was he went on this very long speech, about 3 minutes long, talking about every issue under the sun going on at the southern border and everything. It was a beautiful speech, and, you know, I'm telling you, Steve, we're going to just turn around one day and find out without any notice that President Trump either is at the border or he just left. He's going to go without telling anyone.
The big thing of it up front.
He's got two jets. One of his jets, not Trump Force One, but he's got a smaller jet that's not painted with the logos on it. And Corey Lewandowski says that's the fastest private jet that an individual can own in America. And he's got his own helicopter too, by the way, if you haven't forgotten. He could be down there at that southern border in 2 hours from Mar-a-Lago. And nobody would know what was happening. They would think he was flying off to play golf somewhere. And I think the media would welcome it. They're starved. They miss Trump.
Yes, I think that's true, but the media doesn't have a lot of guts. I mean, the media is...
Well, they'll be if he went there today, all week long would be a discussion of Trump's trip to the southern border if he went there this morning. If at noontime we found out he was there, until the weekend, that's all they would be talking about, is his trip to the border. Now, a lot of it would be critical, of course.
Worry about, because, you know, Trump, I mean, one thing you know, that they're waiting for Trump. They know he's coming. He's not going to show up, and it's going to be a big surprise. I mean, when...
You say that, no former president has ever done anything like this. And since he's not going to do the same thing Ted Cruz did, because he's not going to copy Ted Cruz. But no former president has ever done anything like this. It's campaigning. It's campaigning is what it is. It's a campaign stop. You know, that's like his re-election. I would... No. Going to the southern border when he goes to the southern border, I think we should consider that the launch of his 2024 campaign. That's a real out-of-the-box, bold move. No former presidents do anything like that, ever. It's fun, yeah. Yeah. All right, listen, we'll take our break. We'll be right back.
Contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab.
Hey, everybody in the chat, make sure you're subscribed. You click that notification bell, and like the video too. That helps a lot.
And north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
This is Steve Kane. I'm sitting here with my good friend and my attorney, Barry Siegel of the Siegel Law Group. Barry, you offer a service called elder law. And since I'm getting up there in years, I'd like to find out exactly what that is and when and if I need it.
Sure, Steve.
elder law, think of it as asset protection. Now, as we age and get into our retirement years, the number one concern or threat to our assets is the cost of long-term care. Care either at home, in an assisted living facility, or in a nursing home can be very, very expensive. And it can eat away at your assets. It can even deplete your assets to nothing. Imagine if you lose all your assets, you have to go into a facility and your spouse at home has nothing left. Or you may end up not having any assets left to leave to your loved ones. So with elder law, we are able to look at different government benefits that may be available to you or your spouse, such as Medicaid or veteran benefits. And even if you don't think that you're eligible for these benefits, you'd be surprised. That's what elder law attorneys do, is we help people who may not be eligible at this point become eligible so that they can protect their assets for themselves, their spouse, and their loved ones.
Well, it sounds like a really great idea. I suggest you call my attorney, Barry Siegel, and he will be glad to set up an appointment and explain everything to you in even more detail. His number, toll free, 1-855-FLA-3782. Mention that you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane here. It's the Steve Kane Show. You know, the media, they have this big thing now that Asians are being victimized by hate crimes all over the place, all of a sudden, out of the blue. Well, let me finish this story. I want to share this story here with you real quick. There was a crime. Did you hear about this attack of the Asian city councilwoman in New York on the subway? Oh, yeah. You're probably not, because there's a big cover. This is one Asian hate crime they don't want to cover. She's a Asian American city council person in Manhattan. She was pushed down the staircase in a random attack at a subway station. She's Asian. She didn't report it. She's a liberal Democrat. She didn't report it. And listen to this. Asian woman running for New York City City Council attacked in a hate crime by a black woman. She said she didn't want to report it because the attacker was not white. I'm not making that up. Because the attacker was black, she didn't report it. Isn't that nuts? I mean, what the hell? Oh my goodness. No, I don't. And I did not catch. You talking about on Fox last night?
Actually, it's running. They run it once you get. Listen, you can pick up. I've never been. I'd take or leave Mark Levin. I've always been that way. He's a little bit egg-headed.
Yeah.
But boy, I got to tell you, this weekend he woke me up with a vengeance. He's got all these books. He was going in depth with this whole movement, how it's organized and who the principals are and how they're taking over the school. I mean, in the short time we have left, because we don't have that much time. But if anybody that saw Mark Levin over the weekend, I'd really love to get your reading.
What was the subject again? What was the subject again?
The takeover of the country by these left-wing loonies.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never taken it seriously. I must tell you this, I've been way off. My judgment has been way off in taking these people too lightly. When Cortez and all these left-wing nutcases first started getting elected, I laughed and said, they're not going to catch on in America. I mean, these fringe people have just really, they're well organized. It is something to be taken seriously.
Well, they're being appointed to positions of power and getting cabinet positions and things like this with Biden.
And I will tell you that Mark Levin was right on the money. If anybody else had, we have about a half hour till the show's over. So if you're one of those, we don't usually put out requests for special topics, but I would like to talk to anybody. Well, my question is very simple. Were you guys scared watching Mark Levin over the weekend in this last week's show. What is it?
Was there a specific thing in particular that freaked you out?
Desk full of books written by these radicals whose names up to this point we've heard in passing. But Cloward and Piven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole stable of these.
Well, that's yeah.
They've accomplished way more than I would have ever thought possible.
Well, that's what they were trying to do with the southern border, the Cloward and Piven strategy, overwhelm the system, and it's backfired on them. It's backfired on them because it's a big problem. We're in this new era. Like, Jen Psaki was on with Chris Wallace on Fox over the weekend and said it's not a crisis at the border. And she said it's not open. The border's not open. And they're changing I guess open. She says the border's closed, or she says to Chris Wallace, I think, well, closed must now mean open. And then listen to this. This was really nuts. An internal memo sent out by the Associated Press says that what is happening on the border does not fit the definition of crisis, and the AP will not use crisis to describe the border situation. Well, it's 1984. That's newspeak. They're changing the meaning of words. Closed now means open. Crisis is no longer a crisis. They're changing the definitions of words.
It's not working, and because of people like Mark Levin and Ted Cruz and the people that are willing to put it on the line for their country.
Yeah.
Enough people are speaking out.
Yeah.
And what's that old saying? Don't believe you're lying up.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah.
And this thing, I haven't fully read my New York Post today, but there's a huge article in it about how the number of people at the border is just way beyond what they're releasing.
Yeah.
It's totally out of control.
Yeah.
The more out of control it gets, the worse they.
And they made some serious PR mistakes, okay, with this overload. One, giving them the Biden T-shirts. And then there's a lot of them that are in a camp that are trying to get captured, and they gave them Biden flags, and they're flying Biden flags. Big mistake. All that was backfired on them.
The brightest bulbs in the,
Yeah. Well, they're running the country. And this, putting these kids in what look like Chipotle burrito wrappers in these overcrowded cells in the plexiglass, like Ted Cruz was showing us over the weekend, that came out last week too. The Biden administration has not had a good moment with this crisis at all. Every moment has been bad. And Kamala over the weekend throwing a fit over the remodeling of the vice presidential residence she hasn't been, the vice president lives at the Naval Observatory, and she's not been able to move in because it's been going through a major remodeling. And by the way, Pence had that problem too. He wasn't staying there either. And she's staying at the Blair House, which is where Truman lived with his whole family for over a year when the White House was being remodeled. And she says she's tired of living out of a suitcase. She wants to get to the bottom. She's been put in charge of the border, and she's complaining about the contractors are taking too long over at the Naval Observatory. She has a huge house in D.C. She could go stay at her own home if she wanted. But I was, the reason I bring that up, it got me thinking, because she was actually complaining about the contractors. It got me thinking about Laporta contracting, which of course, your whole house is just a mess, Steve. You had a couple of these little leaks on your ceiling. You ignored it for a long, long time. And of course, when you see that little leak in your ceiling, what's up at the roof level really is a puddle, a pool of water. And that water's been leaking and dripping down for, I don't even want to know how long, into your drywall, and the drywalls are like sponges that never dry, that sheetrock that's in there. And your house is filled with black mold, and you're having about 40% of your drywall replaced. You're having a whole new roof. Yeah. Well, yeah, you could have... Yeah, some Democrat is in charge of the permits that knows you, probably. But listen, don't do what Steve Kane did. Don't ignore those wet spots on your ceiling, because when there's a wet spot on your ceiling, what's up at the roof is a huge puddle of water, and you don't want to have a house that 40% of the drywall has black mold that you and your family are breathing, like happened with Steve. Give Tom Laporta a call over at Laporta Contracting. He'll do a free inspection of your home. This number, by the way, rings directly to him. He's a big Trump guy. You'll love him, and he does great work. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602.
What to remember is hurricane season's right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And when one of those ugly storms comes through, if it turns into from a hurricane into, do you see what was going on with the weather all weekend? Wild weather in the south.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to go into these storms and the storm season with a roof that's damaged, because basically, not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
Paul, he's super gentleman.
Yeah. Let me give you the number. Let me give you the number one more time. And again, this rings directly to his phone. You don't have to go through, an office person and all of that. 954-604-4602. Laporta Contracting, and they'll do a free inspection of your roof. We'll be right back after this.
1470 FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Bio
Gabe,
West Delray.
$25 super chat. Thank you, Gabe. Brian, the RNC sure loves asking for a donation. I don't trust them and will send no more of my money. Stinking boink-a-loink rhinos, rock on. Yeah, Gabe, that's why Trump says don't donate to them, right? That's why you donated to his website. Hello, Steve Kane Show. Hey, Al. Russell, $50 super chat. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate those super chats. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Gabe. Everybody in the chat, thank Russell and Gabe for those super chats.
Call me at my new office number, 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893 to schedule your appointment today.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Randall. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on.
And Firestone at discount prices.
Thank you, Randall, for the super chat, $50 super chat. Thank you so much.
$175 a tire.
I've got perfect vision far away, but I need these to read sometimes. So thanks, Randall, for that $50 super chat.
The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane here. It's the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
All right. How are you?
All right. Did you? I don't know if you talked yet about it because I kind of tuning in late. Did you talk about that thing that happened with that Uber Eats driver?
Now, first off, this show begins at 6 a.m. How dare you miss the early? Yes, of course.
And then I oversleep. I'm like, I don't get enough sleep.
Well, I give you a wake-up call in the morning. I give one to Steve. Give me your number. I'll give you a wake-up call right after I give Steve his. That Uber Eats driver, what happened with that is outrageous. Have you seen this, Steve? Oh. and the video is horrific. I watched the video. 2 girls, 13 and 15 years old, African-American girls in D.C., carjacked a Muslim Uber Eats driver with a stun gun, 13, 15-year-old girl. And they stunned him. They ran off in the car and got into a major accident, and they killed the man in the process. And the CNN reported it as an accident, an accidental death.
Where did this happen?
D.C. Oh, Sophie G, $49.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you.
Disgusting what happened.
Thank you, and C, for the
It's
open
horrible.
forum.
It's
Good and bad.
horrible.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sophie. Everybody thanks Sophie.
Right,
Well, no, I got a call from someone actually early. You'll see it today, Steve. It'll be all over TV. The video footage is graphic right up until the car crash, and the guy's body is laying on the ground. He's dead. 13 and 15-year-old girl. Then they try to steal his cell phone. You know, after they kill him, and you got to ask yourself, how does a girl that's 13 and 15 get in such a bad state? And I got a call from somebody earlier. Apparently, there were some other carjackings by teenagers in D.C. So there's some big boss that's running these teenage carjacking racket going on in D.C. But I don't know how a 13 and 15-year-old girl becomes so violent to do something like that. It was a pretty violent act. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw in the video too. I thought when you said about cell phone, it sounded like she was saying maybe I misunderstood. Left my phone in the car. Like she was more concerned. If that's what she was saying, I'm more concerned about that than I just killed.
Well, hey, she's got to get on. You know, she's got to update her Instagram story. You know.
Did you see Mark Levin over the weekend?
I didn't see it, but I usually DVR it. I taped it. I usually have to see it. What happened?
Don't miss it. Jeff, this is one you want to see. If you want to know how far gone we are and how close we are to the edge of that precipice, tune into Mark Levin. He's been right on the money all along. I just never took him that seriously. I know he's a bright guy. I know he's a scholar, and I know he reads a lot. He was a little dry and intellectual for my taste, although he can be very entertaining. But it's a great show this week. Please, anybody out there, if you get a chance to see Mark Levin's show from last week.
You know, when I heard Mark Levin, tell an amazing story about Rush when Rush passed away. That he years ago, before he was rich and famous, he knew Rush, and he was having some heart problems. And Rush told him he needed to go to the Cleveland Clinic, and he said he couldn't afford it. And Rush sent him there and paid the bill. Paid the bill. Is that crazy? That's amazing. What an amazing story that was. I mean, that was. You know how much that cost? No. Yeah, he paid for it out of pocket, and you know they're not even family. I mean, that was amazing. Amazing. Yeah, good guy.
So Steve, you're all right. You were talking about. I heard you said about you're all right with that now, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if Kamala would have called Laporta Contracting for the vice presidential residence, she'd be living there already.
Do you need roof work?
No, I live in a condo, but it's funny. Maybe a few years ago we had.
Well, wait a minute. Don't condos have roofs too?
No, but it was more of these guys screwed up with our. We had we've had in the last 3 refrigerators. I don't know what Whirlpool.
All right, I think it's time to move on because we're refrigerator talk. Call Joyce Kaufman. She's desperate for that. Refrigerator. You want to talk about refrigerators? Okay, go ahead with the refrigerator.
We were saying
he was telling us about his malfunctioning refrigerator, Steve. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm sorry. Call back, Alan, Coral Springs. We want to hear what happened to the refrigerator. We missed the end. I was quick on the button. I was quick on the button there. No, you know, listen. Do you think because we do know Trump's going to the southern border because he told Judge Jeanine. Do you think that he'll make it when he goes there? We'll find out after he's already left, kind of like with Ted Cruz. It was already done by the time we found out. Or do you think it'll be a huge moment of him flying in?
You'll find out about it after it's happened.
Okay.
Just in the news of him walking around down there.
Yeah, and
be a major story.
And Don Jr. will be there recording everything on his phone to show us what happened.
Boy, oh boy.
You know, most of these other ex-presidents, they just retire and get book deals and get fake jobs where they get paid a lot of money and fly around with Jeffrey Epstein and all this stuff. But Trump's still working for the American people. He's not done.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, no ex-president has done anything like this. It's really now again. He's the only one that's running again. Any time an ex-president, when they leave office after one term, they don't typically run again. It's only happened once before. But as I mean,
sense of how he's looking over his shoulder at Trump. They're totally psyched about this. Trump's really got their number.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know? This is crazy. This is liberalism. Is you know? You're talking about how Mark Levin was talking about how these wackadoodle liberals that are running things have gotten so out of control. You'll think I'm making this up, but I'm not. This is a true story. Do you know the Democrats in Portland? Did you see what they banned in new public buildings? What they've banned? Urinals. It's gender specific. They have banned urinals. In fact, they're remodeling some public buildings, and no urinals are allowed because it's, you know, when you talk about Mark Levin talking about how wackadoodle the liberals have become, when they're offended at the urinal, you know, I don't know where this breed of liberal has come from. They are nuts.
As seriously as I should. These people are organized. They are. I mean, they've got their tentacles everywhere.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, you know, these liberals in Portland, you know, in this era of COVID, you know, you want urinals in public buildings as much as possible because you don't have to touch them. Like you have to touch like a regular toilet, you got to lift the seat up. You know, with the urinal, they got the automatic flush. You stand there, you don't even touch it. Now they got people. The left in this country, I don't know where this breed of liberal has come from, but they are as crazy and as radical as you could possibly be. Now, I was talking earlier. I brought with me today something that I sleep with each and every night. I brought with me my MyPillow, Steve. I have my MyPillow here. I wanted to show everybody, and you know the reason I brought this is, you know, with MyPillows, there are different fill levels that you can get with a MyPillow. Not all MyPillows are the same, and you can actually it be very specific. The one I have here is the least firm, which is the one I like the best. This is the one I sleep on all the time. My wife, she has the one that's most firm, but you can actually get the MyPillows with the least foam, medium firm. I'm sorry, not foam, fill. The least firm, medium fill, more fill, or most fill. They come in 4 different levels, and of course, the most is the one that's more solid. That's what my wife has, and mine's the least, which I like the best. And we'll go to bed a lot of times at night, and I'll say, "Well, wait a minute. You've got MyPillow," and we'll switch because she's got the most firm and I have the least fill. And when you go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Kane. You can specify which fill level you want. Now listen, this MyPillow that I have here, I spilled coffee on it today, Steve, in the elevator when I was walking up here. But that's okay. I'm going to go home and wash it. Now wash it. Yeah, wash it and dry it. Now this MyPillow, my wife got me this over 2 years ago. And she paid $85 for it. $85 for it. And that, of course, well, no, you can actually now, this is before they were a sponsor and we didn't have the promo code Kane. This MyPillow, we paid $85 for this. You can get this very same pillow with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, for just $29.98. This is the regular standard MyPillow. That's how much, yeah. Just $29.98 with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And if you're watching on the video, this is the least fill. If you want to know, and you can also order by phone 1-800-716-4879. And let me tell you, I love this MyPillow. In fact, I'm taking it when we go on the cruise in January. I'm taking my MyPillow. You should bring yours too, because if you
The MyPillow reunion.
Well, if you listen, you sleep on a MyPillow every night, and you're used to getting the most comfortable sleep you've ever had. Putting your head on a regular pillow, it's going to be, you might as well put your head on a concrete block, Steve. I'm telling you, after you're used to sleeping on a MyPillow. So go to mypillow.com. And, Mike Lindell, Mike Lindell, he's got two big things going on here. He's being sued by all these people for his support of Trump, and he's starting this new social media network, FrankSpeak. And, this guy, he's got legal bills like we can't imagine. He's spending tens of millions for this new social media platform. When you go to mypillow.com, Mother's Day's coming up. There's something for every mother on your gift-giving list. Your wife, your mother-in-law, your mother, your grandmother. There's something for every mother on your list at mypillow.com. You're also supporting Mike Lindell and his new social media platform, helping him in this legal defense that he's dealing with. It's just awful. So go to mypillow.com, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and again, you can order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800... That's right, 1-800-716-4879. All right, we'll be right back with the Gold Report after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had lab tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less.
Steve Kane Show.
Lab Test Now of Coral
Steve won't take your call at the end of the show. You know this. I got to call earlier, okay?
Charge. Give them a call. 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
And now the moment we've all waited for on this edition of the Steve Kane Show, the Gold Report. Brought to you by William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William, one of the leading merchants of the precious metals really on the planet. He's been doing this stuff and advising clients on trends and movements in the gold, silver, and platinum markets. He carries all of those. And he will give you the advice you need, and it's an exciting time coming up. I think this is, well, actually, I was going to say this is not William's advice, but I realized where I got it from. I got it from William. There's about to be, I think, a big explosion, given the financial situation now, and now is a good time to get in on these pullback years. Let's see how things are going this morning. William, how is it looking?
Gold continues to look in a sideways area of compacting these gains and losses, and just again a very boring sideways trading that we've seen for quite a while now. Gold trading in a range of 1720 to 1740 and remains in that range, even though it's down this morning towards the lower end of that range. Silver breaking $25 today, which has been the support. As of Friday, we saw gold trade up and close up $6.60 on Friday at $1,733.30 the ounce, while silver was down 2 cents on Friday at $25.03. Platinum was up $39 at $1,100.
Well, thank you, Smiling Snow Squirrel. Now listen, everybody in there, like the video, and if you could share it, that'd be awesome. Like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell.
$1,724 the ounce. Silver down 23 cents below that $25 support. We'll see if it closes below 25. It's been doing this of late. $24.80 right now, down 23 cents. Platinum, the only one up this morning, $1,185 the ounce. That's up $3, while palladium is down $108 at $2,490 an ounce. And that's pretty much where we're starting the week off, Steve. We'll see if we can break out of these ranges, either to the upside or to the downside, which would give us a tremendous buying opportunity. But either way, great time to take advantage of the stock.
Now, if somebody comes in today, William Youngerman, and they want to get involved in the precious metals, today? What should it be? Gold, silver? What would you recommend?
Well, silver looks very inviting at these numbers, but both gold and I like them both.
Yeah, and we all know that gold been money for 5,000 years, and there's only one way it goes. Boom, the right way. Listen, William. Yeah.
For me, at the 20, can I lock in the $25 price?
There you go. Now listen, Steve's there a little early with William Youngerman because he can talk to him before everyone else can. They open up weekdays at 10, so you can call in at 10 and put your order in too. The number over there, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or you can stop in at 10 a.m. 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right. Well, Antifa in Portland learned a lesson. Don't vandalize a car of a Trump supporter while they're in it. Listen to this. Listen to this. Footage captured, they call them demonstrators, the Antifa. Footage captured the demonstrators, this is Antifa, spraying paint across the windshield of a man's truck and smashing in the taillights. Now, this was in Salem, Oregon. I get, okay, but Salem's the capital, Portland's not. So he's driving the vehicle, he's in it, it's on the street, they're spraying over the windshield, so you can't see out the drive, which is dangerous. The driver, who was wearing an American flag sweater, stepped out of his vehicle as he engaged with the protesters, because he was under attack and there was a large group of them. The video shows him pulling out his gun, and he cocked it. It looked like a .45. He slid it back, he cocked it, and pointed it at the anti-fascist protesters, Antifa, after it appearing that they had maced him. So they're spray painting on his windshield, breaking out his taillights. While he's in motion, he gets out of the car, and they mace him. Okay? Mace him. Then he pulls out his gun. The cops walk over. What do you think the cops do?
Arrested the Trump guy.
That's right. They arrested the man who was under attack. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they did. They arrested the man who was under attack. That's exactly what they did, Steve. Yeah, isn't that nice? Antifa, I guess. All right, go on, kids. Next. I can't believe. Yeah. Well, it's like Charlie Manson's followers told you when you went to the Spahn Ranch. The good guys are the criminals. And all. Yeah, the world's backwards is basically what they told you, right? Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Hey, yeah, when and this video is very graphic, by the way. It's more of a visual than an audio, that's why I'm not playing it for you. You guys can find it online. It's in the Daily Mail, too, if you go to the Daily Mail. But the police come over, they arrest the... if you're driving a car and you're surrounded by people, they break out your taillights, spray paint over your windshield, and then mace you, what are you supposed to do? You got to be able to defend yourself, but apparently that's a crime in Oregon. I'd get out of. And that's not. I guess not. I guess not in this audience, at least. I hope I hope it's not a statement on his program. Oh, let's check in with Richard Pearl. I caught a little bit. I was driving down by Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, and I wanted to see how our signal was at Mar-a-Lago, if the president could hear us. And I heard you, Richard Pearl, as I was driving past Mar-a-Lago on Saturday on our radio station. Perfect signal, your weekend show. Richard Pearl, whose program follows the Steve Kane Show weekdays at 9 a.m. on this radio station. Richard Pearl on politics. Hey, Richard Pearl, good morning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Telling you stuff so far in advance of what the rest of the media is saying that it almost sounds untrue, but then...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, we've got this incredible morning block here on these radio stations we're on. And for those who don't know, we're on AM and FM stations. And we've got this great block, the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show, right here on the radio since 1977, followed by Richard Pearl at Politics every day at 9 a.m. on this radio station, whichever station you're listening to us on right now. You can catch Richard Pearl. Now listen, you can also stop by his store. He's got an incredible store filled with all the nutraceuticals you hear him talk about all the time. I use nutraceuticals from Simply Natural, as does Steve, and I know a whole bunch of you guys do too, because I hear from you. Simply Natural is located in the city of Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And you can call Richard Pearl at the store, 954-741-4045, 954-741-4045. All right, Richard Pearl, have a great show. We'll be tuned in, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, Steve, we are out of time, so you want to sign us off today?
Okay, we're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to do it all over again. Until that time, on behalf of my son, who's our technical director, Brian, of course, my left and right hand here on the Steve Kane Show, and I'm yours truly, Steve Kane. See you tomorrow. God bless America.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Boom. All right, guys. Hey, listen, make sure you're subscribed and you got that notification bell clicked if you're new here. And also, everyone in there, like the video and share it. That helps a lot. Get word out to people, and I would appreciate that. I got to shut down everything now. Richard Pearl does his show from a different studio. I'm at the radio station, and Richard has his own studio. Actually, he has at home and at his store. So sometimes he does the show from his store. Sometimes he does the show from his home. But I like coming to the radio station. I do my podcast from my studio at home, but I like to do the radio show here at the radio station. That's just me. Just disconnecting everything. All right, guys, listen, I'll see you later. Got a podcast coming up today. Don't miss that on this channel. So again, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, and share the video. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it.